Welcome to MotoGP World. Today is February 1st, 2026, and we have the latest updates from the MotoGP preseason testing and preparations. First, focusing on Marc Márquez, who is pushing his limits as the 2026 season approaches. After a challenging winter marked by injuries and surgery on his right shoulder, Marquez has been methodically building his fitness and riding stamina. Although he missed the final races of 2025 and the initial preseason test in Valencia to prioritize his recovery, he returned to riding in early January, first with off-road training before transitioning to circuit work. Recently, Marquez completed 2 intense days of testing at the Circuito Aspar in Valencia, riding Ducati Panigale V2 and V4 models under the careful supervision of team manager David Tardazzi and with support from Michel Pirro. Despite a minor crash reported during these sessions, it had no physical consequences. This shows Marquez's commitment and readiness to take on the official preseason tests in Sepang next week as he prepares to reunite with the MotoGP grid. His brother Alex Marquez joined the training efforts along with Moto and Moto3 riders David Alonso and Maximo Quiles. Meanwhile, other riders have been equally active, with Maverick Viñales testing his KTM at Motorland Aragon and Enea Bastianini riding in Jerez. Ducati also rented Portimao for tests with their superbike riders, though Marquez declined to participate, but was seen practicing flat track regularly. Turning now to the final day of testing in Sepang, Alex Espargaro demonstrated exceptional speed and control by setting the fastest lap time of 1 minute 57.173 seconds, almost 1 second quicker than his best time 2 days prior. Espargaro, riding for Honda, outpaced his brother Paul Espargaro on the Red Bull KTM by a slim margin, with Paul clocking 1 minute 57.299 seconds. French rider Fabio Quartararo secured third place with a solid 1 minute 57.69 seconds on his Yamaha, closely followed by Alex Rins also riding Yamaha, and Australian Jack Miller. Notably, Brazilian rider Diogo Moreira improved significantly, finishing 6th and ahead of the experienced Dani Pedrosa. Ducati's test rider Michel Pirro, despite suffering a couple of falls, worked diligently and finished 9th overall. These shakedown tests, reserved for rookies, test riders, and teams under concession limits, provide valuable data ahead of the official preseason sessions. We continue with more information from the recent shakedown tests held in Sepang, where the spotlight was firmly on the Espargaro brothers. Alex Espargaro closed the third and final day of the shakedown as the fastest rider with an impressive lap time of 1.57173, a mark that would have secured him 4th place on the grid in the 2025 Malaysian Grand Prix. The session saw a fierce yet friendly competition between Alex and his younger brother Paul, with Alex ultimately edging out Paul by a mere 126 thousandths of a second after a strong mid-session push using new aerodynamic components. Their performances were closely followed by Fabio Quartararo, who secured third place with a 1.57690, showcasing the potential of Yamaha's new V4 engine. Alex Rins was just behind in 4th position with a 1.57892, maintaining consistent pace throughout the day, while Jack Miller rounded out the top 5 with a 1.5894. Among the rookies and newcomers, the Brazilian talent Diogo Moreira stood out, momentarily climbing as high as 5th position and ultimately finishing 6th with a 1.58338, having improved over 1.5 seconds from the previous day. His performance indicates a rapid adaptation to the MotoGP level, closely followed by Toprak Razgatlioglu in 8th place and Dani Pedrosa in 7th, both showing promising pace despite Razgatlioglu's continuing adjustment to the Premier class. Unfortunately, the day was not without incident as Ducati test rider Michel Pirro crashed at turn 14. Fortunately, He was unharmed and managed to return to the garage to continue testing, finishing ninth. Aprilia's test rider Lorenzo Savadori completed the day in 10th place, with Mika Kallio and Andrea Dovizioso rounding out the timesheet in 11th and 12th, respectively. This shakedown was a crucial final step before the official preseason MotoGP tests, scheduled to take place from February 3rd to 5th, bringing hope for exciting developments and strong competition as teams finalize setups and evaluate upgrades. In related news from the VR46 Riders Academy, Valentino Rossi showed he remains impressively fit despite his retirement, participating in private tests at the Mandalika circuit, alongside academy members such as Pecco Bagnaia and Marco Bezzecchi. Rossi competed using a Yamaha Roan GYTR and managed to clock times just 1.8 seconds off Bagnaia's best during the two-day event. And finally, we close with the presentation of the new LCR Honda bikes for the 2026 MotoGP season, a mix of promises and realities that brings together experience and youth. Johann Zarco, now entering his 18th World Championship season, continues with the team after a strong 2025 campaign highlighted by a memorable victory at Le Mans in wet conditions and a solid podium finish at Silverstone. Zarco remains calm and focused, emphasizing the importance of patience throughout a long season and the wealth of experience gained from racing with 4 different manufacturers. His goal for this year is clear: to push hard, secure wins, and climb the podium multiple times. Alongside Zarco, LCR Honda brings in the exciting rookie Diogo Moreira, fresh off his Moto World title last year. Moreira's arrival signals a strategic shift for Honda's satellite team, as they move away from previous development projects tied to Asian promotions to focus on raw talent, with a 3-year contract secured for the Brazilian. Moreira admits his primary objective this season is to enjoy riding and understanding the Honda RCV, which has already shown signs of improvement following positive shakedown sessions in Sepang. Sponsored by Pro Honda and adorned in eye-catching yellow accents, Moreira aims to adapt smoothly and compete for Rookie of the Year honors, with potential top 10 finishes on the horizon. Lucio Cecchinello, the team principal, expressed high expectations for 2026, recalling the extensive work done by Honda engineers to make the bike more competitive. While realistic about the challenges ahead, he envisions a year where consistent top 5 finishes are within reach and even court potential race victories. The combination of Zarco's veteran insight and Moreira's raw speed creates a compelling dynamic for fans to follow this season. The duel between Moreira and rivals like Toprak Razgatlioglu for the rookie crown is already generating excitement in the paddock, adding another storyline to watch as the championship unfolds. In summary, LCR Honda enters the 2026 season with renewed optimism and a balanced lineup, blending the seasoned leadership of Zarco with the fresh ambition of Moreira. The improved RCV platform promises to be more competitive, and both riders appear motivated to make significant impacts throughout the year. We will be closely watching how this team evolves and if they can challenge the front runners regularly as the calendar progresses. And that is all for today on MotoGP World. Thank you for